Welcome everyone back to the channel, and in this video we are going to be ranking everything Star Wars related in the year 2024. And in this video I want to recap all the major projects that we got this year, upcoming projects that we got announced this year. Also want to talk about, did they prioritize quantity over quality? So let me know in the comments down below if you disagree or if you agree with any of my rankings here today. Let's get started with this first ranking right here. So the first thing that we are going to be ranking today is the final season of Bad Batch. Now for me, this was a huge win. I love this animated show. I'm sorry to see it ending, but I think that they did a phenomenal job ending the show, and it makes me really wonder, are we going to see Omega in future Star Wars projects? Are we going to see how Rex and Wolf reconnect before they start to kind of doing missions together in Rebels? So I think that this show really hit it out of the park, and I think it is by far one of the best things that they have made this entire year. So for that reason, it is going to go in the great category. Phenomenal show, learning more about the Clone Wars and learning more about what happened post Order 66. The next show that I have on here is Skeleton Crew. Now, Skeleton Crew is still going on right now, but for the most part, I am enjoying this show. I think that this is everything that you want in a Star Wars project. It's got adventure, it's got curiosity, it makes you remember kind of stuff that you did as a kid. It just brings back so many great memories, and I think for me, as well as so many others, that this show really is a good kid-friendly show as well. So this is something you could definitely watch with your kids to get them kind of started in Star Wars, to get them understanding, how the Force works and stuff like that. So for me, since we have not seen the entirety of this show, I think I am going to put it in the potential category right here. It has potential to be great. We will see for sure once the show wraps up in the next couple of weeks. But for the most part right now, I'm really enjoying it. I would like to hear what you guys think of this show as well. So the next show we have was a little bit of a disappointment in my opinion. Tales of the Empire was something I was very much looking forward to, but I think it fell short of definitely Tales of the Jedi, which was by far one of my favorite projects that Disney has done since acquiring their rights to Lucasfilm. So I think focusing on Barriss, I think that was really cool with the Inquisitors and stuff like that, but it definitely just, I don't know what it was about the show, but it just didn't feel the same as Tales of the Jedi. And I didn't really enjoy much of the Morgan Elsbeth part either. I mean, it was cool seeing Thrawn and how she kind of got started with the Empire, but for Tales of the Empire show, I thought it would focus a little bit more like on Tarkin, Vader. We'll see if next year if we get like Tales of the Sith or Tales of the Bounty Hunter. I think those would be really awesome shows for them to make, especially since we're only getting like one project next year, with that being Andor Season 2. And for me though, for Tales of the Empire, I sadly have to put it in the okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't completely terrible. There were still a couple episodes that they were really nice, like 15-minute episodes that I really enjoyed, but for the most part, it fell short, and I think it just had too much potential. Being Tales of the Jedi was just so great, and we were all thinking, oh, here's another really good project, and just fell short in my opinion. So okay, and here is the big one, the big controversy that we have with The Acolyte. Now, for me, The Acolyte was a complete disaster. Not only was the writing terrible, I think the directing as well. There was just no understanding of Star Wars in this, and no respect to what George Lucas did for the prequel trilogy. And This show, I just want to forget about it. I wish it never existed. They should just delete it off of Disney Plus, in my opinion. The story could have progressed so much faster, but they just had no idea what they were working with this project, and so they had to drag it out. They had to introduce characters that we didn't need. Plagueis, for some reason, is hiding in a cave. Then they think that we don't recognize that Master Yoda is at the Jedi Temple and he couldn't sense like all these Jedi dying, even though he can sense in the future when Anakin is slaughtering the Tusken Raiders. Like, I just completely don't understand this show at all. I didn't understand why it got such a high budget, in my opinion. So for me, it's an easy choice. It should never been made in the deleted category. So, alrighty. So here is one of the ones that got the projects that got announced in 2024, which is probably I am the most excited for of all the movies that got announced. And we'll get into more of those later on in this ranking. But Thrawn and Heir to the Empire, I think, with Dave Filoni's movie, I haven't heard much about it, but for the most part, I think this is a great idea. It's going to get us more Luke Skywalker, and hopefully they don't do anything like they did for him in the sequel trilogy. So I think that of all the movies that they announced, I think this one has the greatest potential of them all. And for me, might be a little ambitious, but I am going to put it in the great category. I think that this could bring back a lot of great Star Wars fans, especially fans of the books and of Thrawn as well. I think that was a great introduction to him in the Ahsoka series. That series kind of ended a little bit weird, but for the most part, I really enjoyed that series, and I am excited to see more of Thrawn in this Heir to the Empire movie. So, next thing we have is the Rey movie, which I would not be surprised. They've already said that they're having writing issues. It's already getting delayed even further, and we'll even see if it even starts filming in 2024. I know that they are still working on a script, and now they're talking about a whole new trilogy, which I wouldn't be surprised if they just take the Rey movie that was supposed to just be one movie and turn it into Disney's next big trilogy. I wouldn't be surprised about that at all, especially with this is their baby. This is who they really wanted to focus their story for 7, 8, and 9 instead of iconic characters like Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Leia. And for some reason, Rey was actually one of the most poorly written characters of the entire sequel trilogy. She had no idea who she really belonged with. She had no idea what her story was going to be like until we finally get into the Rise of Skywalker, and somehow Palpatine returned, and she is a Palpatine. I always thought it would be super awesome with how much she knew the Millennium Falcon and how much, kind of experience she had with the Force with barely any training. I thought she would be a really good daughter to Han and Leia. But let me know what your thoughts are on the sequel trilogy and if this Rey movie gets pushed into a trilogy. For me, however, this is going to go into the not good category. They have just pushed this movie out far too much, and we'll see what they even do with it if we even get anything. So, the next movie I would say I am really actually excited about because I actually don't know much of this movie, Dawn of the Jedi. So I know the director, he is the one that actually directed Logan, which is one of my favorite X-Men movies of all time. I love Wolverine. He was one of my favorite characters. And if he makes this movie anything like Logan, I think this is going to win over a lot of Star Wars fans. So I'm excited for it. It's going to basically take us all the way to the beginning of the Jedi, discovering the Force, how to use it. So I think it's something that could be very good. So I am going to put it in it has potential. I think it very much does, and we'll see. I hope to get some more news about it here soon. So, the next major project that we got announced was the Mando and Grogu movie. I know that this movie probably doesn't have to do anything with season 3 of Mando, which in my opinion was very lackluster. I think the writing again was a major issue, and pacing as well was so bad. They could have easily have filmed this in half the episodes, but they decided to drag it along to keep your subscription. So, but anyway, I think that this movie, seeing Mando and Grogu on the big screen, we do not know much about this movie right now, but I think that this could have be a really good movie and a really kind of get Star Wars fans back in theaters, back to them watching Star Wars on the big screen. I think that this is going to be a really good idea. For me, I'm going to put this. I think it could be great. It could have potential, but we're still waiting on to hear. I think it's going to just be, though, an okay movie. We'll see. We'll see about that. So the next thing we have is Star Wars Outlaws, which in my opinion was very underwhelming. Basically, every single mission that you had was the exact same thing. Steal a key card from some sort of higher level person, break in and steal whatever you needed to steal and then get out without being detected. So doing that like 10 to 15 times, it can definitely get boring. And I know so many people that didn't even finish the game. So I didn't even finish it. So let me know if you finished it. Is this a really good game to keep going? Did you actually enjoy it, or did you really get tired of the repetitiveness and think it was kind of boring? So for me, I think that they could have spent their money on a lot other better ideas. So for me, it's going to go into the not good category. So there you have it. I can't think of anything else I might be missing, but let me know in the comments down below if there's any other projects that we either got announced or that we received in 2024. So thank you guys so much. Let me know in the comments down below whether you agree or disagree with this list. Do you know any projects that I missed? So let me know in the comments down below. Have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you all in the next one.